Hello and welcome to all of viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Circle on Global Television. My name is Ubon Osoro. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and Star Times 276. The Federal High Court, sitting in Warri, has ordered the Nigerian Police Force and the Inspector General of Police to maintain status quo in the ongoing legal dispute over the enforcement of tinted glass permit policy. The order was given in a suit filed by lawyer John Ikpo Martins against the Nigerian Police Force and the Inspector General of Police. The Publicity Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association, Bridget Edoko, stated that the court specifically directed the police to respect judicial processes and refrain from any action that could undermine the pending case. Chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Musa Aliyu, has charged anti-graft agencies, civil society organizations, and media organizations to collaborate and ensure transparency in governance at all levels to move the nation forward. Aliyu made the call at the Nigerian Local Government Integrity Index presentation by the Center for Fiscal Transparency and Public Integrity in Abuja. Ramsey Enoch Abo was there for Global Television.
Transparency and accountability at the grassroots took center stage in Abuja as the chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Musa Aliyu, stressed the need for transparency at the 774 local governments in Nigeria so as to ensure constitutional democracy to the people.
We will look our mandates and see how we will come in and support local government to deliver the services to our people. Because we know that Section 7 of the Constitution has clearly provided that local government council should be governed by democratically elected officials. And there will be no democracy if there is no transparency and accountability.
The executive director of the Center for Fiscal Transparency and Public Integrity, Umar Yakubu, highlighted concern raised since the Supreme Court's ruling of July 2024 on whether local governments truly receive their allocations directly and how the funds are being utilized.
Yeah, basically since the Supreme Court judgment of 2024 in July, nobody really knows what to do with the local governments. And there are too many speculations about whether they are receiving their finances directly or they are not. And as you may recall, we had a program earlier in the year together with Agora Policy on whether these things have been happening. And from the evidence we have, we don't think they have been receiving their funds directly for several reasons. But that aside, we believe the local government, the data shows that the governance structures there are very weak and there needs to be a lot of enhancement of trainings and capacity building so that they can deliver the dividends of democracy and enhance good governance.
Also speaking, the special advisor to the chairman of the Fiscal Responsibility Commission, Chris Owadoka, emphasized the importance of fiscal discipline and accountability at the local government level.
Fiscal transparency is critical for progress in the local governments. As local governments are beginning to enjoy financial and fiscal autonomy, it is necessary that their activities be visible. Their fiscal, financial activities be visible to all.
Speakers agreed that local government, being the closest tier of government to the people, must demonstrate transparency and accountability in order to deliver good governance and dividends of democracy to Nigerians at the grassroots. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
Nigeria's 4 hydroelectric dams, Shiroro, Jeba, Kanji, and Zuguru, located in Niger State, have given notification towards releasing excess water from the dams any moment from now. The notification was made available to the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, prompting the state government to advise communities in riverine areas to relocate upstream as a result of the directive from the 4 dams to avoid the impending flood. The Director General of the agency, Abdullahi Ara, said in a statement that the Nigerian Hydrological Services has subsequently advised communities along River Niger and Kaduna to also relocate for the same reason. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has confirmed a slight decrease in the spread of Lassa fever in the country compared to the previous weeks when it was high among states. Head of Risk Communication, Community Engagement and Infodemic Management Division of the center stated this in an exclusive interview with Global Television. Zara Naze takes a look at the situation and now reports.
Lassa fever is a viral hemorrhagic disease endemic to West Africa caused by the Lassa virus, spread by multi-mammoth rats. Lassa fever remains a persistent public health challenge in Nigeria, with annual outbreaks expanding across the country. Between 2018 and 2023, the disease spread from 20 to 34 of Nigeria's 36 states, underscoring its endemic nature. In an exclusive interview, Hannatu Bello, head of the Risk Communications, Community Engagement and Infodemic Management Division of the LATFO NCDC says, even though there's a slight decrease in the spread of the disease, but prevention remains the best option.
Well, I think even with the current, with the situational report as we speak now, the last week 36 seems to have even, we're on week 37 now, and we seem to have a little reduction in week 37 compared to week 36.
Hannatu Bello added that the department has carried out sensitization programs to educate community members at the grassroots to create more awareness about the symptoms of the disease.
We have the health promotion officers at state levels. In fact, we have desks. There's a structure in place. There's health promotion offices in every state of the Federation. And we also have health promotion offices at LGA levels. So what happens is that the health promotion officers promote good health among community members. They are the grassroots, they are the subnational. So we work with them remotely to ensure that the right messages are shared.
Lassa fever is a viral hemorrhagic disease that was first reported in 1969 in an American missionary nurse who worked in Lassa town in Borno State of Nigeria. With the slight decrease in Lassa fever cases, health experts maintain that vigilance is key. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control is urging citizens to practice good hygiene, avoid contact with rodents, and seek medical attention at the earliest sign of symptoms. For now, prevention remains the most effective weapon against the deadly virus. Zahra Nasser, reporting for Global TV News.
Debates over soft copy and hard copy continue to shape conversation about reading habits in Nigeria. Many argue that nothing beats the feel and discipline of hard copy reading. Education correspondent Priscilla Obasi now reports.
For years, reading culture in Nigeria has been described as dying, with distractions from technology blamed for reducing how much young people read. Yet, the same technology has also created wider access to books through e-libraries, e-books, and study material.
Gen Z love reading online. You see them with their phones and the rest. But in my own opinion, because that was what I was born into, and I saw it that reading physically, yes, is the best option. I still subscribe for physical reading. Thank you.
I prefer reading on my phone.
Why?
It seems easier that way, where especially when if I'm free and on my phone, it's easier for me to get it because I'm always with my phone. I don't know, maybe because of my age and everything, I'm not just a fan of hard copy. I just feel like it's better on my phone.
Some readers argue that digital platforms are convenient and cost-effective, especially for students and professionals who cannot afford the rising cost of printed books. Others, however, insist that hard copies give deeper concentration, less distraction, and build better retention.
I prefer reading from a hard copy book because I can still make reference to it.
Education experts warn that beyond the format, the bigger challenge is encouraging Nigerians, especially young people, to read for knowledge and not just for exams. In a country where literacy is vital for national development, the real test may not be whether we choose soft copy or hard copy, but whether we are reading at all. Priscilla Obasi, Global Television News, Abuja.
The Adamawa State Commands of the Nigeria Police and Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have announced the arrest of a total of 130 suspects, while the State Police Command said it had nabbed 72 suspects over the past 3 months. The agency said it had arrested 58 drug suspects in the last month. The two federal security agencies said in separate news briefings that heightened surveillance and crime tracking measures made the arrest possible. You're watching the live broadcast of News Circle. When News Circle returns, World Health Organization says nearly 42,000 people in Gaza have sustained life-changing injuries in the wake of Hamas-Israel war. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. In business, President Bola Tinubu is scheduled to inaugurate the $400 million Otakipo onshore crude oil exports terminal in Rivers State on October the 8th, the first new crude oil export facility to be built in Nigeria in over 50 years. The facility, developed by Green Energy International Limited, operators of the Otakipo field in OML 11 Ikuru Town, Andoni local government of Rivers State, is the first wholly indigenous onshore terminal built in Nigeria. The last of such facility was the Forcados terminal, which was commissioned in 1971. Nigeria has emphasized the need to accelerate the integration of the West African markets in order to unlock immense capital needed to develop the region. Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission, Emomotimi Agama, said the West Africa faces urgent developmental challenges ranging from infrastructural deficits and climate adaptation to digital transformation and job creation. On the foreign scene, British police authorities have identified the suspect in connection with the recent attack on Manchester synagogue. Police have also made 3 arrests as investigations continue into the incident. Edikan Michael now reports.
The attack has shocked the cities, prompting swift action from law enforcement to ensure public safety. Authorities are currently examining all potential motives and evidence related to the incident. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has responded to the event, emphasizing that Britain must stand united against the rising wave of religious violence. In his broadcast, the Prime Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to combating hate crimes and protecting minority communities across the country. Police confirmed that the terrorists killed 2 men outside a synagogue on the holiest day of the Jewish calendar, who is believed to be a British citizen of Syrian descent. Chief Constable Sir Stephen Watson said there were a lot of people inside the synagogue when the attackers struck, but for the bravery of the security staffs and the worshippers inside, as well as the fast response of the police, the attacker was prevented from gaining access.
Yom Kippur is the earliest day of the Jewish year. It is a solemn day of observance and atonement and marks the peak of the high holidays. No work is permitted for some. The day is spent at the synagogue. And this occasion falls on the 10th day of an Hebrew month between the late September and early October. It is a sad situation here in Manchester. Edikan Michael reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you, Edikan, for that report. The World Health Organization says nearly 42,000 people, a quarter of them children, have suffered what is called life-changing injuries, including amputations as well as head and spinal cord injuries in the Israel's war in Gaza. Richard Pepekong, World Health Organization representative in the Palestinian territories, told a press conference that lifelong rehabilitation will be required. Uhi Akbemofwegwe completes the report.
Since the war began with Hamas's deadly attack inside Israel on October 7, 2023, Israel's retaliatory offensive has killed more than 66,000 Palestinians, and that is according to health ministry figures in Hamas-run Gaza that the United Nations considers reliable. The health ministry also noted that nearly 170,000 more have been injured.
You talk about 42,000 of them having life-changing injuries. Of them, 1/4, so that is 1/4 actually over the overall injured people in Gaza, and 1/4 of that are actually children. So then you talk about over 10,000 children with life-changing injuries.
The WHO representative also highlighted concerns around mental health challenges associated with the conflict that has ravaged Gaza in the past 2 years.
The mental health again impact, and the mental health impact overall. And that's maybe something to raise according to some of the estimations that probably currently, and that's why over 1 million people are at least distressed by mental health in Gaza.
Pete Skelton, the report's main author, told journalists that children appear to be disproportionately vulnerable to amputations. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
In sports, it was a week of intense swings, shoots, and patriotic celebration as Nigeria marked their 65th independence anniversary with the maiden Tuku Yusuf Buratai International Golf Resort and Countries Club Independence Golf Tournament in Abuja. Veteran golfer Gwadiri Yusuf emerged champion in a contest that drew over 400 participants. Nietia Patrick has more details. And that's it on Global TV News Circle. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and StarTime channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTV NG. I am Ubong Usoro. Bye for now.